Welcome to our Let's Talk Shop virtual event featuring the topic of TruckTech Plus service management. Some of you may know it as PACCAR Solutions, which is powered by Decisiv. Thank you for joining us today. We appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to be with us. My name is Chad Seth. I'm Director of Truck Sales. And with me today is Kenny Huff, Service Manager for Rihm Kenworth in South St. Paul. This morning we're going to cover PACCAR Solutions, TruckTech Plus. During this event, if you have any questions or like to communicate with the speaker, please use either the Q&A or chat options at the bottom of your screen. We'll be recording this webinar today and make it available for you to share with those who couldn't be on today's meeting. So with that, I will let Kenny take the meeting over. Kenny?
Morning, everybody. Thanks for joining, and thanks for letting me present on this, Chad. So for those of you that don't know me on this call, I'm the service manager here at Rihm in South St. Paul. Been with Rihm for 7 years, and before that I was with MHC in Kansas City for 4 years. So all of it in the service department with a minor little stint in truck sales. But service is where I like it, and service is where I belong. So lots of experience on the service side, a lot of changes in service in the last few years, lots of things done to make the customer experience better. And that leads us to PACCAR Solutions, service management, TruckTech Plus service management. There's lots of different names for it out there, but for the purpose of this meeting and going forward, we'll call it service management. It is powered by Decisiv. So those of you with other OEMs, you might be familiar with it as well. Everybody, with the exception of Navistar, uses some variation of this. So a little bit more about service management. Just kind of the overview again. We've partnered with Decisiv to provide its dealers and customers a cloud-based service management tool designed to improve communication, increase efficiency, and provide customers with a seamless experience across the entire PACCAR dealer network. Every Kenworth and Peterbilt dealership has a goal of being on this and being committed to doing it for the customers. The seamless experiences is what they're driving for. They want everybody, if you come to the shop here in South St. Paul, it's the same as if you go to our shop in Superior. Should be the same as if you go to a shop in Orlando, Florida. It's definitely not there yet. It's a process, but everybody in Kenworth is pushing towards getting it all the same. I'm sure everybody has experienced this at some point in time in their careers. The old way of doing service, where your driver or you yourself might drop off the truck. You'll have a list of complaints. You never hear anything. You wait for a phone call. If the phone call comes, you're maybe given an estimate with a ballpark of idea of how much it'll cost and when your truck will get back on the road. Maybe you get a phone call with updates during the process, but a lot of times you have to call back and check in on it, wonder what's going on, wait for the update. And then you call back again, find out the truck has been done for a couple of days, and you hope that your estimate is somewhere close to what you're expecting to pay. Not a good way to run a service department, not a good way for customers to run their own business, not having any idea what kind of expenses you're going to be experiencing or how long your truck and driver are going to be down. So the goal with service management here, excuse me, customers would drop off their truck, list of complaints. Immediately after that, you should receive an emailed confirmation with the check-in status, letting you know the truck is here. Here's a list of complaints. Right after that check-in, you should receive an initial email with the write-up, what the advisor put on your ticket, and a request of approval to begin those diagnostics. Our goal here is to request approval, even if your truck has 500 miles on it. We want to request approval from you to look at your truck. In the event that we find something that was, it was tampered with, non-warranty, we don't want to surprise you with anything that's going to be charged to you. So that's where this request from approval is going to come for, even on something that 99.9% of the time will be warranty. We'll request approval to keep you in the loop. Once your diagnostics are completed, you should receive another update from the shop with either an estimate or the warranty determination, and then your estimated time to repair. On the emails, it's going to abbreviate that ETR. And that's just basically when you can expect to have your truck back, taking into consideration parts lead time, technician availability, hours required for the repair. Again, you'll receive an email confirmation once the repairs are completed. And then once your driver picks up the truck, there is another button we click to let you know that the truck is back in service and on the road. Sounds a lot better than the old way of doing things. And when this is performed, it makes everybody much happier and the process runs so much smoother. So some benefits of using it, excuse me. So the cases are created based off the VIN. The entire Kenworth network can see those cases. They can see the repairs, the parts, anything like that. They can't see what we charged you. They can't see what our bill was, or if it, they only can see the warranty side of things there. Also, everything is time-stamped, provides us the ability to monitor our shops. We can keep track of repair statuses much clearer. How long it takes to triage, that's a good measurement in the system, so we can get your trucks in and a quick diagnostic and let you know how long it might be down for. Parts availability, estimate approvals, and any other performance indicators for us as far as how we're doing and how we're servicing your trucks. The time stamping, the estimates, that's very helpful. We have everything documented and we know that we're billing correctly. More benefits for the customer. You have access to view all of your repair cases real time via web portal. Reduces those phone calls. I know when there's two advisors and the phone's ringing off the hook, you're sitting on hold waiting for a simple update on your truck. You can get all of that through this web portal. Here's an example of one we had here in South St. Paul recently, where it needed brake shoes. Customer wanted to ask for pictures, wanted to know why they're spending the money. So easily we're able to just attach photos to this case. The customer has a link to it, and anything that we mark as customer view, you're able to see it, answer your questions. It's like you're right there with the truck instead of having to drive down and view it in person. And then again, for dealers, everything that truck was built with, we have access to the chassis data, warranty. All recalls pop up immediately as soon as we start the case for the truck. So nothing important, no safety recall will ever get missed that way. It's all in a one-stop shop to make the office more efficient. Again, for the customer, it gives you upfront estimates and repair authorizations like I talked about earlier. No hidden charges or surprises, and you get complete control of approvals of the repairs. To the right is an emailed example that I created. We'll actually run through the process here in just a second. You're also available. You also can get real-time status updates. No more calling. You can click the emailed link. There's also an option to follow a case. So you can set it up to basically receive an email anytime the vehicle status changes from waiting for approval to approved to parts on back order to parts received to repairs complete. You'd be able to follow along every step of the way as you set up your own notifications. And then in a lot of cases, we're seeing a reduction in downtime between 25 and 50%. I know our dwell time here in South St. Paul, we've been on it for roughly 18 months now. In the last 3 months, our dwell time, we've been running 120 hours, 150. We're under 60 hours the last 3 weeks. So turning trucks around in 2.5 days. And that's on average. So a lot of them are a lot quicker. One slide too far there. So let me change my screen here and we'll walk through what you will see when you receive a case, an email from us, and how you can interact with it. Okay, so everybody should be receiving emails when you bring trucks in. Provide your email up front. Make sure that it is added to a safe list. That's been the one complaint we've had there. A lot of IT departments have really cracked down. Everybody's very safe. Get it, and I'll share this email with you guys later as well, but replies.decisivapps.com. That needs to be added to the safe list so you don't miss out on any important communications. So this is what your first email would look like. Let you know that the asset is checked in, your unit number at the location. There is your link to click into the case, view the statuses. Your first time clicking on the link, it is going to ask you to register. First name, last name, email. That is all that's required. If you elect to receive text message notifications, enter in your mobile number down here. And later on, you will have the option to set up your notifications and receive text messages. And again, important note here, everybody hates spam. You will not receive any spam by completing this form. You're only going to receive emails that pertain to this truck in this case. So here, if you are not a registered fleet, you're able to see cases for 1 month after the repairs are completed. If you do wish to register, I've got a link to share at the end of this. We can share that information out and help you guys get registered with Decisiv. It's a good tool for fleets to have. So these are your case notes down here. It allows you to communicate directly with the shop. You select from the drop down who you want to communicate with. You have the option of the shop that the truck is at. If you're on the system, you may even have options to communicate directly with a sales rep or your service rep. If you're a national fleet account, you may have contacts for them as well. Select your user, send the note, and then hit send note. And that goes, it alerts the shop, every service advisor in that shop, that there's a new note on this case, and they get an email. They also get a notification in the case to go look at it and read it. And if it's anything that needs to be responded to, they can handle it accordingly. All the information that's at your fingertips, repair order, current invoice amount, when it was created, when it arrived, when it checked in. ETR, like I said earlier, is estimated time of return. As right now, that hasn't been populated. And then there's ATR, which is actual time of return. So we can grade and judge on that as well. And then asset departed, you can know when your driver picked it up. No more guessing about when that truck got back on the road. And then down here at the bottom is just some brief information about the breakdown, the location, complaint, and then the correction. Here, this is what it will look like when you're responding to an estimate. If it's a simple one and you don't need to review it, you can quickly hit mark all approved. Or if you want to approve it line by line, you can select an option. And you have the option to, yep, I'm going to approve this inspection, approve the repair, and approve operation. You also have the option to decline or defer, depending on your needs at that time, or if you want to have it serviced at a later date. And the good thing about that is if you defer a repair or decline it, it stays with that truck. So the next time it gets to a Kenworth dealership, it pops up as something that we should suggest, hey, I know you didn't have time for this last time, but would you like to take care of it now? So at this point, yeah, it's been approved, declined, or deferred. If you require an authorization number, a PO number, you can enter all that in at that point in time. And again, here, back to the estimate approval. Once you've done all that, you hit submit, and it goes back to the service provider. Estimate was approved, notification has been sent to the location, and the case status has been sent to approved. So for us here in South St. Paul, as soon as you approve the estimate, it sends us an email, it puts the case in an action status, and we know that we need to move. It's time to order parts, it's time to get everything coming, time to assign a tech to the job. No more hoping that somebody answers the phone or hoping that somebody sees the email reply. It triggers 3 different things for us here to act on it quick. And then here's where you monitor your repair status. So if at any point in time you're curious what's going on and you haven't seen an update, you can always click that link back in the original email to get back into the case and then view your repair status here. So it is currently set to approved. Now, it moved a little quick there for us, but now the repairs are complete and it's marked complete here. You would also receive an email at that time as well, letting you know that it is complete here. And then it gives you your actual time of repair. So it was estimated to be done by 11 p.m. on the 18th of October, and it was done at 2:22 p.m. on the 18th of October. So good for that shop. They beat expectations. And there's your repair status again, complete here. And now the driver's picked it up. The service advisor clicked the button for asset gone, and your driver is back on the road and everybody is happy. And then now up here, you can view your estimates. Make sure that they match with what you originally approved. Here's the original estimate. Here's the approved amount. And it looks like nothing has changed from there. You're able to view, so you can view them as a PDF if that's easier. So this will also show you every note that was sent back and forth. So if you're questioning anything, everything is timestamped, dated, all right there in order. So you can go back through the approvals, go back through the case and verify that everything is correct and works. So. All right. Sorry, this controller is in my way. There we go. All right, and that is the end of interacting with the case. There would be a couple other emails generated, like I mentioned. So you're complete here, you're complete gone, or anytime that the service department sends you a note directly about that truck, it would trigger an email to you. You do have options to go in here and set up your own settings. So like I mentioned about the SMS messaging, that's something right now the customer has to do on their own. In the future, it's a feature enhancement that's coming to where instead of providing an email, you could provide a mobile number and we could text you updates directly from the case. Obviously there's legalities to that and we have to have you opt in and do all that stuff first, but that option is coming. So I know a lot of people don't look at their email all day long, every day. So sometimes a text or a phone call is the preferred method. So, and with that, let me swap screens here again for us. All right. So like I mentioned, for non-registered fleets, just give us your email when you drop the truck off. That starts the ball rolling. You'll get the first check-in, you'll get the request approval, you'll get the estimates, you'll get the notification that your truck is done. If you have access or need to have your IT department, there is the email address to add. That they've done some stuff to keep it from getting caught in so many spam filters, but it still does happen and we want you to get your updates. So make sure that address is added. If you're curious about getting onto the Decisiv platform to utilize this kind of information, it actually gives fleets their own portal to manage. And it covers all the OEMs other than the Navistar. So if you are a mixed OEM fleet, you could manage your Kenworths, your Volvos, your Freightliners, everything in one spot with that. And then if you were curious about that tutorial, I've got a link to it here as well. I also have it set up to include that link in every notification you'll receive from any of our Rihm Kenworth shops. There's a link at the beginning of the email that says, for instructions on interacting with this case, please click here, and it'll take you back through this presentation that we just went through. But with that, that's pretty well all I have to share on this. If anybody's sent Chad questions or anybody has questions, be more than happy to answer them.
Yeah, thank you, Kenny. Great job. We're excited to this launch of Decisiv PACCAR Solutions for our customers, and what a great way for them to stay connected with our service department and the real-time, live-time updates on their trucks getting through the shop. Just a reminder, you can type your questions into the chat or Q&A box in the control panel at the bottom of the screen. I think we have a couple questions, Kenny. First question from an attendee is, as an owner operator, I just want a phone call. How does this system work for me?
If you only want a phone call, the system is beneficial still, because we can still send you the email, let you have the documentation of the estimate. So there's no verbal he said, she said, no disagreement on pricing or anything like that. We can still send that email out through this, but just note in there, per our phone conversation, here is our agreed upon estimate. We'll continue with repairs. We do ask customers up front what their preferred method of contact is, because this doesn't work for everybody. 100%. Some people don't like emails, or owner operator, you're out on the road driving all day long. You're not looking at your phone. You're not pulling up a laptop. You're driving. So phone calls definitely are necessary still, and we accommodate those folks.
Okay, one other question so far, and again, feel free to chat your questions to us. Next question, I want to see part numbers and prices on estimates. Is that possible?
It is possible. There are different settings for the cases, and I would have to look into it, but I know it is possible to do that. Parts pricing is included on every line, but not on every item. So that's the default is to not show that stuff.
Okay. Looks like, I think Shad, our parts manager in Coon Rapids, chatted to everybody that they can utilize the app mobile. I don't know how to say that. Mobico. Any other questions from anybody? All right. Well, I guess with that, we've got all the questions covered. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Again, we appreciate you taking your valuable time out of your day to join this meeting. Hope to see you at future Let's Talk Shop events. And please keep an eye out for other announcements from us. Thank you, everybody.